Hello,
Hello.
agit appetit.
Yeah. If such a short daf today, better if whoever doesn't come on time will miss the whole thing.
Yeah,
2 lines. Each page is about 2 lines,
wow, this one is really short.
Yeah. We can sometimes learn 2 blot a day and then, skip the
Yeah.
next day. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right. Sounds like Harold.
Oh, Kenny is here. Wow.
I'm
Shalom
back.
Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Kenny.
Back from the Holy Land.
Oh,
Welcome back. Welcome back.
welcome
Thank you.
back.
I know I've been AWOL. I'm sorry. Just between flying and schmoozing and blah, 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 and being a little jet lagged the last day.
Good.
Where are we holding?
We're on 34.
Oh, I thought 35. Okay, good. We're the same place. Good. Short blots.
Lamed Dalet. Tanan. Mokum shenoit lemaleh aschar. In a place where, when you return a lost object, you would get reward money, and the guy's a muder hana, so tipul hana lahegdish. He can't receive the reward, so the money has to go to hegdish. So bishum amanda marfilu b'shenichse bal aveda. Like when the guy who lost the object, asur mamazir, so that the guy who made the neder can't return it, nami mahader, since he can't get any benefit from him, he has to give it to hegdish. But in a case where when the person who lost the object, he's the one that can't have a no from the marzir, so my people are no lahegdish. So then the balaveda is getting it back. If the guy doesn't want to get his schar, he's not really getting any extra benefit. So it's only a chodik, Tony. It's only on one of the cases. It's not on both of the cases. It's only where kishenich say balaveda so malzir, then he can't return it. And then if you return it, you have to tipol, you have to give the money to hegdish. However, ikidimasti law b'hailish. Other people learn in a different way. Pligi b'ravami ravasi chadamar lo yishanu. We're not talking about a case of machzir aveda so ela b'shenichse balaveda so al machzir, where the owner of the lost object, he can't, the machzir can't have hanoah from him. Umishum pruted Rav Yosef, we said, while you're returning a lost object, ha'oisik b'mitzvah potem b'mitzvah. So if an ani came to you, you would be free of giving that. So there's some hanoah there, but we don't have to be worried about that because it's lo shchia. It's a very rare event for that to occur, for an ani to show up right exactly at that time. Aval nichse machzir. But when the guy who returns the object is asur balaveda lo mahader lei, he can't return it mishum tekomahader lei, because it's through the ashavas aveda there is a no. But the chadam afilu nichse machzir shema balaveda muter dechimahader lei midid nafshik mahader lei. It's no real hanoah because he's getting back what he lost, so there's no profit. So it's not really considered a hanoah. Tanan. So the Mishnah says mokum shenodim aleh schar, where there is reward for returning. Tipul hanoah lehegdish, the reward, if the guy's a muder hanoah, should go lehegdish. That works in a case where the one who's returning the lost object, he's got the neder on the balaveda. He can return it, and he returns it, and there's a schar, but but we need the teretz of if you get a schar, it goes back to hegdish because he can't get the money. The law there, if it's talking about a case where you can't return it, and what's the teretz of in a place where you give back a reward, there's no reward. Kasher. Amarava.
Why don't we say that he should, why doesn't more say he should give it to someone else to give it to him to claim the reward, not himself. He could give it to someone else to claim the reward. And another thing also, maybe the owner, maybe the person who was who lost the article.
He could give it to another person to give it back.
And get the reward that person, his son or something, family or something.
Then there would be no problem.
Right, and then are also now also if he could if he was, let's say he was the Aish on the thing itself, so he's the more says he's getting back his own things, he doesn't get anything, but in case he's Miyayish, then he is getting something, right? If we know for sure he was Miyayish, the item that he lost, so he would get enough from it if it came back to him because he was Miyayish on the thing. Right.
If it's a kind of lost object that he doesn't expect to get back,
right?
It doesn't have simonim, and then a chanami, that would be then you wouldn't be able to return it to him.
Wouldn't be able to take it back, yeah.
If he was the guy who was mutter anah, yeah. Amarava. Adam shaisel fanat kikar lechem shel hefker. He has a loaf of bread that belongs to Hefker. The Omar Kikar Zu Hegdish. And he says this loaf of bread should go to Hegdish. Im not the la'oichla, if he picks it up and he has intent to eat it, mo'alafikula. So he's moil in the whole bread. Once he starts eating for it, it's obvious that he was taking the whole loaf of bread for himself. So the me'ila is the whole bread. And you have to pay me'ila the value of the whole bread. But if he took it l'hoy risha l'vonav, not to eat it, but to give it over as Yerusha to his son, mo'al rak l'tfi toves hanor sheba. The fact that the sons are giving him credit for doing them a toiva, that he's moirish them, that's worth something. That's called toivus hanor. So
with the son, because
the guy who gave it to Hegdish and the guy who's doing this, he is not being nana from the kika at all. By being moirish to his son, the hanor that he gets is the toivus hanor. So that he's more, that he has to pay. If kika is worth $100, let's say the toivus hanor might be only worth $5. So that's all you'd have to pay to Hegdish, not the whole loaf.
But the son obviously has to pay if he uses it, he's moil, then the son's moil.
The son hasn't used it yet. He was moirid.
Oh, I see.
He says to his friend that his friend's loaf of bread is usher to him. I mean, to the guy making the neder as an Isser koinam. And then, and then he gave it to him as a gift. Mao. Do we say kikori or merlot? Excuse me. It's my loaf of bread. And I'm offering the loaf of bread to my friend Behano. And then I give it to him as a gift. Do we say kikori or merlot? He is a bershusay hu de asr. we emphasize the word kikori, his kikar. Well, if he gave it away, then it would not be usher. It's only when it's in his rishus it's usher. So there's no isser anymore when he gives it away. Oy dilma, or do we focus on the word alecha? It means for you it's going to be usher, whether it's in my possession or not in my possession. Omer lei ilve shavisa hegdish. How can I make it hegdish, or I can make it usher once it's out of my rishus? Omer lei pshita davagav b'yavle b'matona usher. He answered that it's still going to be usher to his friend if he gives it to a matona. Ela kikori alecha la fuke mai. When I say my loaf of bread should be usher on you, what is it not coming to include? Lav la fuke di igan v'binei mignev. Let's say it was stolen from him, from the guy who made the neder. Maybe then it would be mutter for the friend. So maybe it's the same as if he gave it to him as a matana. For example, let's say he invited his friends to eat, and they were going to eat from that loaf. So in a sense, a part of that loaf was konui, was nicknamed to the friend. And therefore he can't answer it because it doesn't belong to him. But he can answer the chelek that it's still is in the Rishus Bible. Okay.
Shkoyach.
Surba is going to be at 8:00.
Oh, yeah, honey.
Tomorrow, 8:00, Daf Yomi.